Imagine Regina in 2020, Canada's most vibrant, inclusive, attractive, and sustainable community, where people live in harmony and thrive in opportunity. So how will we become Canada's most sustainable community? By making plans that take us step by step along that path. Hello, I'm Fred Clipsham and I'm a Regina City Councillor. I'd like to show you one plan to make Regina a more sustainable community. In the past year, several things have happened that give us a chance to make a profound and sustainable change to Regina. The first big change will be Canadian Pacific Railway moving their intermodal yard from downtown Regina to Greenfields west of the city. Let me sketch Regina for you and show you what's planned. Here's an outline of Regina, and here's the CPR main line running through the center of the city. The major highways run east and west, north and south, and up number 11 to Saskatoon. Here's where the present CPR multimodal facility is, and here's the airport. A multimodal facility is where trucks meet trains. It takes up a lot of space, valuable space, when it's in the center of the city. And it means a lot of trucks on our streets, a lot of traffic. By 2013, CPR will have completed their move. The mainline tracks will still run through Regina, but the intermodal facilities will be west of the city. The province of Saskatchewan has bought several sections of land beside the CPR site to accommodate distribution companies. Companies like Loblaws, CP's biggest rail customer. Loblaws is building a distribution center here in the Global Transportation Hub to service all of Western Canada. And it's a big building. Rail cars will enter the building, trailers will get loaded, and trucks will be coming and going from these doors 24/7. The province is building a west bypass connecting the Global Transportation Hub with highways number 1 and number 11. This means trucks won't come into Regina unless they're making deliveries here. So why is this sustainable? What was once productive farmland is now a huge parking lot. These changes, plus more I'll describe, give Regina an opportunity it has never had before, a chance to reclaim old industrial land in the city center and create Regina's most sustainable residential subdivision. Here's where industry is located in Regina. The oldest area, the area I'm proposing be reclaimed, is Tuxedo Park. As you can see, it is just blocks away from downtown. Regina's modern industrial area is Ross Industrial Park, in the northeast of the city beside the Co-op Upgrader. Ross Park is still expanding. North of the city, in the rural municipality, is a smaller park with limited services. Another big change is the creation of the Western Industrial Park, which will be big enough to include the new CPR intermodal yards and the Global Transportation Hub. The trucks that used to come here will soon be moving to the Western Industrial Park. The headquarters for those trucks should be moving to the west of the city as well.
We've been talking to many of the major players in the transportation industry as well as the Saskatchewan Trucking Association about the benefits of being located in the Western Industrial Park. We think there's lots of reasons why companies should consider moving to that area to be near the activity going on, and there's lots of reasons why the cities should encourage folks to do that.
If truck drivers can avoid congested city streets, it saves them time. And take the trucks off the streets, it reduces congestion. It's a win-win situation. Truck terminals are typically large properties, 4 to 8 acres in size. This is Kindersley Transportation's terminal in Tuxedo Park. It takes up 4 city blocks. That's enough for 120 single-family homes. But how do we encourage the trucking companies to move? Several public policy choices will be needed. The first is for the City of Regina to own a subdivision in the Western Industrial Park that is designed to meet the needs of trucking companies. There are consultants, like the one that did Regina's industrial land study, which have the skills to design a truck subdivision. Proper design will ensure orderly development, saving the city in infrastructure and operating costs. Most importantly, it puts the trucking companies beside the intermodal facility, the global transportation hub, the airport, and adjacent to the new highway connectors. The city would then offer to swap a property in the new subdivision for truck terminal properties in Tuxedo Park. And there are several companies like Kindersley Transport in Tuxedo Park. There is new legislation in Saskatchewan. For the first time in Canada, the owner of a polluted property will have the legislated protection against future legal action, provided they have cleaned up the land to the standards set by the government.
What the proposed legislation will do is remove the barrier of potential future liability for industrial land so that it can be put back on the market for redevelopment.
Another big change is the availability of money through the Federation of Canadian Municipalities to help communities cover up to 85% of brownfield remediation costs. The City of Regina would need to access the Green Municipal Fund, and there are $120 million in the fund which must be spent by 2012. This gives a second reason for the trucking companies to move. By swapping their property, they avoid the cost of remediation. And it gives the city a good reason to set a deadline to complete the swap by 2012. But how can we ensure the city does not lose money on these transactions? Rezoning Tuxedo Park to residential means that in the future anyone who buys a Tuxedo Park property must develop it as residential. The new highest and best use is residential, and these properties will have a greater value now, both for sale and for future taxation. As the city assembles land in Tuxedo Park, it will sell parcels at market prices to development companies. In some cases, the sale price could be lower than market, provided the new housing will be priced below market rates, affordable housing. The city already owns land in this area, typically abandoned spur lines. The province owns land on the western edge of Tuxedo Park, and due to recent policy changes, most of this large parcel isn't used. Transferring this land to Sask Housing would kickstart the development of Tuxedo Park. Medium and higher density housing could be ideal here, close to transit and only a 12-minute walk from downtown. Trucking terminals aren't the only large sites in Tuxedo Park. I'm standing in front of what used to be a major metal fabricator. Now this property is almost abandoned, and it's big, 6 city blocks, enough for 180 single-family homes. Almost as underutilized are the many properties devoted to simple storage, a needed service, but one that doesn't require serviced land in the city center. The only reason they are here is because the land is so undervalued. There are several viable companies in Tuxedo Park, too. Most would be more appropriately located in Ross Industrial Park, like this feed mill. Ross Industrial Park is also home to trucking companies. For all the same reasons, these companies should be interested in moving to the Western Industrial Park. And the same rules would apply. If the company agrees to the swap, the city will do the needed remediation, provided the selling price is right. This will do 2 things. First, trucking companies are large properties, and Regina needs industrial land. And second, this plan would accommodate the light industrial and commercial properties presently located in Tuxedo Park. They need somewhere to go. A Ross Park truck site of 4 to 6 acres would accommodate several smaller companies. The key will be to identify synergies that will incent Tuxedo Park businesses to move. So that's how to create a sustainable subdivision out of what is now underutilized land in the city core. There are several reasons to act now, and if we do, we can make this happen within 10 years.
Councillor Clipshon has spelled out a way to make Regina Canada's most sustainable community by 2020. It's a vision that Regina City Council understands and is prepared to support. I'd ask for your support as well.
Together, we can make Regina a more sustainable community, where Council's vision for our future becomes a reality. Thank you.